Joining me now is Congressman Pat Fallon on the House Oversight and Reform Committee. Congressman, it's great to have you here tonight. And I do want to talk about China and TikTok, but we have to react to that news for a moment. What do you think about the Biden team taking screenshots of tweets and sending it to Twitter management and saying, investigate this, look into this?
Well, Jackie, it's chilling. I mean, it's literally putting your thumb on the scale. And was it an honest and fair, election cycle when Twitter's supposed to be, a public square platform, neutral, and clearly they weren't?
Yeah, no, it is really interesting. And we all are waiting for those details if he's going to release them of, who it was that was orchestrating this within the organization and acquiescing with these kinds of demands. It'll be really interesting to see and how this is related to the Hunter Biden laptop story. It seems like he's piecemeal releasing these tweets. But let's get to the China TikTok story as well, because this is a conversation that is hot right now. These reports that the Chinese government basically was using TikTok to bash Republicans. It's kind of related in some ways when it comes to the Twitter censorship stories, because these platforms, and now we're talking about a foreign government getting involved in influencing the narrative in this country.
Yeah, that's frightening. And I think the Chinese Communist government fears the Republican Party far more than the Democrats, quite frankly. I mean, look at what President Trump did in 4 years. He actually stood up to China, the first U.S. president to do so in decades, if not ever. And Joe Biden is just putting his head in the sand. I mean, TikTok is being used as a propaganda tool to indoctrinate our youth. And we need, and by the way, look at their terms of service. They have access to your files, to your data, to your contacts, even keystroke patterns that could potentially, compromise your username and passwords. I don't use it, and I would encourage every American parent to get their kids using something else, but not TikTok.
And we don't know what they will do it. We just know that they have it. They're sitting on it, and not necessarily knowing where or how this will play out. Even Democrat Senator, Mark Warner, said that Trump was right about trying to ban TikTok.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that is something.
Trump's right about a lot of things after he's out of office. President Trump wanted to ban TikTok. Senator Mark Warner now says he was right. And we have Brendan Carr from the FCC, who also said that we should probably ban it, and we should call on, and I have in our office, Apple and Google to remove them from their platforms.
Yeah. I just have 2 minutes left here. I'm going to broaden out the conversation because John Levine from the New York Post is still with us. We've been talking to him about the Twitter story all night. John, I want to get your impression from the news that Kelly just broke for us, basically saying that the Biden team was taking screenshots of tweets and telling Twitter to look into those tweets.
I mean, well, that's everything. I mean, this is what we've all suspected for such a long time. This is right around when the Hunter Biden story was released. And we see, at the very least, active collusion between Twitter, which censored the information, and the Biden campaign. I want to know who Biden team is. I want to know who their point person was. Who were they communing with? Who was the Biden? Because that person needs to be part of the broader investigation.
I'm sure he's going to shed more light on it and probably expose people deeper. It seems like he's putting out a piece at a time. But what's so interesting to me, Congressman, is that when it comes to the way Twitter was operational before and the way it was being run, and it was suppressing the speech of Republicans, every Democrat was fine with it. But now they're up in arms with Elon Musk, who isn't saying, I'm going to suppress Democrat speech. He's just saying, I'm going to put the Republicans back on the platform and let them have their opportunity.
You mean to be fair?
To be fair.
In dissent. That's the best $44 billion I have ever seen spent, is Elon Musk just even the playing field and let the American people decide when they have accurate information and truth and context.
Right. There is so much that went on during the show tonight. I'm so glad to have your insight, Congressman. John Levine, I also thank you so much for standing by, and Kelly O'Grady in LA to bring us the latest. Obviously, this is a developing story with Twitter, and we will continue to stay on it on Fox Business.